Try to sing a song I wrote in 2019.
Woo! All
This
right.
was the first song I'd written in about 30 years. So it
Wow.
was kind of an event for me. I took a class with a friend right after Joanne died called Rewriting the AIDS Generation, something like that. A real cheery one. And I ended up, because we all had to read from a book, and I chose to read from The Wild Swans. Hmm. Copy of the book here.
Flowers.
You know what The Wild Swans is? It's a fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah.
And so the great fairy tale tradition, I've taken a bunch of classes with Jack Zipes and people. But in particular, um, my friend who's a science fiction and fantasy novelist, Peg Kerr, wrote this book, which is just out in a new edition after 20 years this summer. And it has a different cover now if you get the hard copy, but it's hard to get that way, but you can get it as an ebook. But anyway, she retold the story from Hans Christian Andersen in two ways. One set in colonial America and one set in New York City in 1981.
Wow.
And that's the fairy tale, and I think it's an invitation to retell the story again yourself. Anderson told it, and his version kind of floats over, and then she tells it twice. And so that's what I guess I was doing. Um, and I tell you that because, and do you know the story of the Wild Swans? It's about
It's been a
a
long time.
girl who has to save her brothers who are turned to swans at night, um, or turned to swans by day. She has to knit jackets for them out of nettles. If you've ever touched nettles, you know that wouldn't be fun. But they do actually make fabric out of nettles, which is interesting. I read all about that in the course of writing this song. Anyway, but there's also swans. Uh, so I don't know if this will make any sense. It's long, so I'm only doing one, and I had this long explanation too. Can you hear that okay? Okay. Silently they drift on water like white clouds across the sky. She remembers shouts and talk and laughter until they spread their wings and fly. Oh, the wild swans, they are mounting up the air, flashing drops that glitter from the sky, rising as if up a spiral stair, shedding tears with every cry. In the dark she gathers nettles for, weaving hope and blood and bone into a fabric for their future, with little thought or effort for their own. She conceals their souls in silence, keep their hearts beneath their shirts. Others wear theirs on their sleeves. These brothers hide their lives and hurts. She longs to cry their loves aloud, but fear chokes off every breath, and the paradox of life is this, that silence equals death. Oh, the wild swans descending down the earth, shedding silence as they die, abandon all despair to cast their songs against the sky. They fly with all desperate speed. What rescue can they bring by day? What they might whisper in the darkness, there are no morning words to say. Oh, the wild swans parade through water and through air. In formation they are proud, at last defying death they dare to shout their lives and loves aloud. Oh, the wild swans mounting up the air, slashing drops that glitter from the sky, rising as if up a spiral stair, shedding tears of blood with every cry. At last she's left to mourn and ponder stories of their blood lost and spilt, writing with a swan's wing feather and stitching patches for the quilt.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah. Strong. Very strong.
That was great.
Nice.
Yeah, you can project. It's nice.
Feels like one I've heard already, even though I know I haven't. That is like a classic.
Do you all know about the AIDS quilt?
Yeah.
This was something when I workshopped the song last January, it turned out a lot of people didn't even know about that.
I was just
Big round of
thinking,
applause for David Lenander.